Is it just me, or do everyone feel like the end of the world is coming if your savings account reaches a certain amount? In this video, I want to explore how you can start saving if you currently don't have any savings. According to the latest report from money.co.uk regarding savings in the UK, 34% of adults either has no savings or have less than £1,000 in a savings account. This is 1 in 3 people. The report also says that 61% of UK adults, almost two-thirds, save monthly or for the most part of the month. Another stat says almost two-thirds, 65% of people believe they wouldn't be able to last 3 months without borrowing money. And the last statistics from this report says that men have more savings on average than women across every age group. This report just shows that most people are in a terrible situation, and this situation has been amplified in the past few months because of the cost of living crisis. The question then is, what can we do so we are better than these statistics? Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're all about financial education and financial well-being, so consider subscribing for more of this kind of content. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do if you have no savings is to build a habit of saving money. Think of other habits in your life, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, or checking your phone first thing in the morning. These are automatic small routines that you do without even thinking. I want us to save like that. And to do that, we need to adopt and build routines that will help us start saving. To learn more about building successful habits, I would advise us to read Atomic Habits by James Clear. But to build any successful habit, the first step is to always focus on who you want to become. I'm talking about your identity. Your identity is at the core of building any successful habit. There's a difference between I'm saving for a house and I am a saver. One is task and goal oriented, and what that means by extension is if you're doing this to get a certain outcome, once that outcome is achieved, you might stop doing that activity, while the other is at the core of who you are. I am a saver. You are a saver irrespective of whether there is a goal in front of you or not. But how do you build this identity? First, by reminding yourself of who you are. You can also call this positive affirmations. Tell yourself you're a saver, and before you know it, you will start saving. The next step to build this identity is to automate the process of saving, no matter how small the amount is. I want you to pause this video and set up a direct debit now to a savings account. That's how you automate the process. You can also use apps to round up your purchases and save the change. Over time, you will be surprised at how quickly these small amounts add up. Building good financial habits, just like anything else, takes time and requires you to be consistent. The next step is to take advantage of your workplace retirement scheme if you're in paid employment. In the UK, that would be a pension. You also have the 401k for those in the US. In whatever country you live, there will be a version of this kind of scheme set up. Many of these schemes come with an employer match up to a certain percentage. That's why you want to take advantage of these schemes. It's part of your employment package. So not taking advantage of these would be like paying your employer to work for them. That sounds very wrong. It should be the other way around. In the UK, the minimum legal contribution from your employer is 3%. In many organizations, this benefit doesn't just stop here. Many organizations provide access to free financial advisors and planners for being a part of this scheme. Also take advantage of these and any other benefits linked to employment. These benefits are meant to put money back into your pocket and into your savings account by extension. The next is to create a budget. This is crucial for anyone looking to take control of their finances. That's right, your budget helps you take control of your finances. When you combine this with a savings mindset, you will be more proactive in increasing your savings rate. The next natural step after you've created a budget and tracked your expenses is to look for ways to reduce your expenses. This is a quick win and the most effective way to free up money to save and invest. Not all expenses are the same. Some will have a bigger impact on your income than others. My big tip is to start with the expenses with the biggest impacts. For many people, those expenses will be housing, talk about your rent, mortgage, utilities, transportation. fuel, repairs, insurance, and food, such as groceries, takeout, restaurants, and good old coffee. Reducing these expenses, even by a small percentage, can have a massive impact on your finances. But you can also reduce or cut out small expenses, such as cable television, subscriptions, memberships. There are a lot more. This is going to be different for everyone. Look at what works for you. Another tip is to find what doesn't contribute to giving you joy and happiness, and you cut that off. And lastly, if you're a couple and both of you are working, you can aim to reduce your expense to the point where you both are living off one of your partner's income. Just ensure that every amount you cut goes straight into your savings account. That's the whole purpose. The next step answers the question, which savings goal do I prioritize? I'm sure you would have many savings goals by now, and they are all valid, but you must prioritize your emergency fund. According to Dave Ramsey and his baby steps, he advises that your first savings milestone should be 1,000 USD or pounds as an emergency fund. Then if you have debts, pay off your debts, then continue saving into your emergency fund till you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Depending on your situation, you might be more comfortable with more or less of that amount. But remember, even saving £1,000 would make you better than the statistics. 34% of UK adults have less than £1,000 in a savings account. Prioritizing your emergency fund also means that if you spend from your fund to do with an emergency, your next goals would be to replace that amount. So before you start saving for that car, house, phone, make sure you have an emergency fund in place. The next step is to get out of debt ASAP. Debt and debt payments can be a real hindrance to saving consistently. It's like trying to drive with your handbrakes on. It's wasteful and hard on the car. Similarly, trying to save while paying off credit card debts, student loans, car payments, personal loans, and other debts can be a real challenge, and your focus will be divided. There are 2 strategies for paying off debts: the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method. The debt snowball method involves paying the minimum on all your debts and sending all extra money to the debts with the smallest amount, while the debt avalanche method involves sending all extra money to the debts with the highest interest rates while paying the minimum on the rest. In the comments below, share if you have heard of these strategies, and if you have, which of them have you used and your experience using it. The last thing you need to do if you have no savings is to earn extra income. One of the best things about earning extra income is that you can redirect that money directly into your savings. For example, you start a side hustle earning £500 monthly. Instead of spending that extra money, you can save and invest the whole income. And as the income from this side hustle grows, so does your savings and investments. With this plan, every growth to your side hustle increases your savings and savings rates. Imagine a situation where you have reduced your expenses, paid off all debts, and you're increasing your income. And that gap that is ever growing is being saved and invested. This is the secret to a very high savings rate, and one of the best ways for moving from having no savings to thousands and even millions in your savings account. Remember, consistency and discipline are key to building long-term savings, so don't be afraid to explore opportunities to earn extra income. In conclusion, irrespective of where you are on this journey, whether it's creating a budget for the first time, reducing expenses, or earning extra income, every small step counts. At the end of the day, we all have unique financial situation, so our application of these steps will differ. But to see change, we must take action. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, have a great one.